Hey everyone, Percival Bricks here and welcome back to another video where today I'm going to be talking about the 2025 LEGO Marvel Oscorp set that you see in front of me here. This isn't necessarily a review of the set. I'll quickly give my thoughts on it, but I'm actually going to be discussing my plans with this. If you are familiar with my content, you know I do a lot of LEGO Marvel centered like custom builds, right? And I have a custom LEGO New York City that I'm building. So you would think a LEGO Oscorp set would fit in very well at that city. And that's what we're going to be going over today, my future plans with it, if I'm going to expand it, that kind of thing. So real quick, my thoughts on this set. It is disappointing, but it's better than I thought it would be. So my initial thoughts of this were like, wow, this thing sucks really bad. And the main reason for that is the Daily Bugle is probably like my favorite LEGO set of all time. Like it was just such a awesome reveal when I saw that. And I wanted it so bad. And at the time, it was such a special set for me because I was able to buy two of them and expand it. And yeah, that's kind of what I was hoping for with Oscorp. That's kind of where my expectations were. And when I saw the set pictures, I was so disappointed. The building, like the size of it, that it had these two other little buildings with it that really I don't think anyone cares about. I think people definitely forego either of these buildings to get a like actual size Oscorp building. But anyways, I of course bought it anyways because I was very intrigued and I wanted to see what I could do with it and my thoughts on it after building it. And I think it's better than I thought it was. And my reasoning for that is if you look back at the Daily Bugle, Avengers Tower, the Sanctum Sanctorum, all of those sets had a set similar to this before they got their big kind of like actual modular sets, right? So there were several like smaller Avengers Towers, one small Daily Bugle, and a smaller Sanctum Sanctorum before we eventually got all those as full-size modular buildings. So I kind of set my expectations differently and was thinking, you know what? They will probably do an Oscorp down the line if this one sells well. And I'm sure that's the reason that it's the size it is, that it's more of a playset Oscorp versus a modular building that we all want. So, yeah, I don't know. I guess if enough people buy this set, maybe they will turn it into a full modular building, just like they did with all those other ones. So, I did buy it kind of with that in mind of like, yeah, you know what? It's not a modular building. And I think it's okay. Like many people pointed out, like many superheroes today pointed out, it does have the wrong Green Goblin with it. It has this like newer Green Goblin who I think is technically Harry Osborn, and Norman Osborn is like dead in that universe. And so it's kind of funny that they decided to go with that version and have like a whole transformation chamber for Norman Osborn to turn into Green Goblin when he's like literally not that version of Green Goblin. So I don't love that choice. I prefer the classic Green Goblin over this one for sure. But we get Kraven the Hunter. We haven't had in a long time. We get an Eddie Brock, which is the first Eddie Brock we've ever gotten. And I do like this little build for Venom's like head attached to him. And you know what? I don't mind the smaller builds. My plan is to actually expand those and put them in the cities, similar to what I did with the Into the Spider-Verse, or I guess Across the Spider-Verse set. So yeah, I don't mind all of this, but Oscorp itself, I still am a little conflicted on. Because if you remember, with those smaller versions of the Daily Bugle, of the Sanctum Sanctorum, right, people would buy multiple of them and expand them into modular buildings. So my dilemma is I already have a LEGO Oscorp in my city, and I could rebrand that to just be a generic building and make this a full modular size Oscorp. I could just leave this as is and not put it in my city. So that is why I made this video. That's what I really want to talk about in this video. And I will do a direct comparison with this LEGO Oscorp with my LEGO Oscorp that's in the city, because this one is actually small enough I can just kind of like hold it up next to it. So yeah, again, I guess it just depends on what you're wanting out of a LEGO Oscorp. I think this one is fine, but I really hope LEGO does eventually make a modular one. But if you're thinking about getting this and you had similar thoughts to me, I would just put that in mind as like, yeah, you know what, it's not a giant modular Oscorp building that you probably want, but it's still a decent set, and there's some cool minifigs and some cool pieces in it, and yeah, I think it's all right. But now let's get into the comparison between this Oscorp and my custom Oscorp, and I'll talk about my future plans of expanding this. So here is my Lego New York City. If you haven't seen it, I have several videos talking about it. And here's my custom Oscorp. I actually just set up this new one on top of Washington Square Arch, which is a very cool build that I don't know if a lot of people have seen that I've made. And yeah, you can kind of get a sense of the scale with this new one and why it becomes a problem of actually incorporating it into my city, because it is very small. I mean, even if I were to like expand it this way and make it way taller, even the Oscorp sign is just kind of small, and it doesn't really catch your attention when you're looking around at the city, at least in my opinion. The Daily Bugle there, which I did expand, right? It has those big red letters, and you can kind of see them from anywhere in the city, and it's pretty iconic. But as much as I love this cool like printed Oscorp sign, yeah, it doesn't have the same effect when you're looking at it from far away. And the building itself, with the colors they decided to go with, not very eye-catching. The light bluish gray and dark bluish gray, it's just not great. And so I do really love my custom one. I think I built this back in like 2021 or 2022, so it's been a while, long before we knew we'd be getting a Lego Oscorp. And yeah, I still kind of prefer mine. And so that's what I want to get your guys' opinion on, is what I should do with this new one. So yeah, I like parts of it. I like this, like these angles they were going for, right? I think it's a lot of fun. We had similar thoughts with the Spire. I assume they were also inspired by Amazing Spider-Man 2, but I have my Spire on my Oscorp there. And yeah, I like the sign, but putting it in the city here, it's just not too eye-catching. It's not that big, and I don't care to have this like Green Goblin override thing on mine. I don't know. It just seems like it would take away. I kind of like my Oscorp because it feels like it could be a real building, you know? Of course, I have comic booky buildings around the city, but I built this one to be actually like a right triangle shape. So if you look at it, it's kind of it's cool shape, and I'm pretty happy with that. And like in between each floor, I have like dark green and black, just to kind of give you some Oscorp type colors in there. But I think it looks pretty good with the white lettering too. And yeah, I'm just overall pretty happy with mine. If you haven't seen that before, every one of these floors actually just hinges open, and you can look inside it and see things pretty well. And that's where I want to talk about like incorporating this with mine, because I do love mine, but one thing mine is kind of lacking is an interior. There is a interior on the top floor with Norman Osborn's office. There's an interior on like the second floor that has Lizard's lab. But other than that, there's like there's 3 full floors in my building that have no interior as of now. And so I'm thinking maybe I could take the interior lab parts of this set and incorporate them into mine to kind of like combine the two. I think that could be cool. I would really like to incorporate this sign into mine. I think it could be cool. But it's so different than mine, so maybe if I changed my lettering to be like this kind of like fun, brighter green color, that could be good, and then I could maybe put like 2 of these signs on the side. I'm not sure. But yeah, that's kind of what I'm thinking, because really putting this in the city, even right here, the more I'm looking at it, it's just not going to work with the scale of the rest of my city, because I did build my Oscorp to kind of look like a real building, so potentially you could just remove the lettering, and I could rebrand this as whatever type building I want, or just leave it plain. And I think it's still a cool building that holds up in my city. But I just don't know if it's worth getting rid of my custom Oscorp for this, you know? I don't know. That's kind of what I'm thinking as of now. Again, I would really love feedback on your thoughts with this, because I just wasn't the biggest fan of the set when it got revealed. And now directly putting it next to my Oscorp, I think even with expanding it, it's just not going to be as good as mine. So really, yeah, I think like taking interior aspects, maybe trying to incorporate the sign is kind of all I'd want to do. I do like the angular pieces of this one, right, on both the sides. But even then, it would be kind of hard to incorporate that into my Oscorp. And my Oscorp is already like a right triangle, so it has some angles to it already. So I don't know. Those are just my basic thoughts. Again, I have not really thought about this. I just wanted to do a direct comparison of the two and see if there was a way I could incorporate the new set into my city. But yeah, those are my quick thoughts on it as of now. I will give you a sneak peek as to what I'm doing right here. So you'll notice this is actually Peter Parker's apartment. I bought 2 of those sets and I turned it into a corner building in my city, and I will do an interior in there. And then I have another kind of like generic building off to the side. So one of my ideas is to take those other 2 side builds with the new Oscorp building and incorporate them into like this corner modular, essentially. So it's on one base plate, and it would be like a big modular building that's really tons of smaller buildings. And I think that could be really cool because I do love kind of rebranding Peter Parker's apartment, or just making it a better set, to be honest, because the original set is very ugly and I cleaned it up a bit, and I'm pretty happy with this. So maybe that could be something I do with like the other components in the Oscorp set, is incorporate them to like a Marvel block of just more like apartment building looking things. And then this is a skyscraper I've kind of been working on for a while, and I'm thinking of like putting this on top of this whole base plate block here, and maybe like that'll look good having like different layering and different types of buildings next to each other. So that's something I'm working on. I'll definitely show you that when I do some more progress, but yeah, maybe I'll do something similar with those other 2 Oscorp buildings that are on either side of this one. But as far as this one, yeah, I just can't decide what I want to do with it. So definitely drop your thoughts below. What do you think of my Oscorp building? What do you think of the official Lego one? Do you think it's worth expanding and like trying to make this into a full building and getting rid of mine? Do you think it's worth just like incorporating the 2 like as much as possible? I don't know. I just wanted to make this video really to get some feedback and see what you guys think. And there's something I did not mention. I bought 2 of these sets in case you guys want me to expand it into a modular, and because I plan on doing those other smaller buildings there. So I think really quick, just so that this video, because like I did do like expansion question mark in the title, I don't want to lie to you guys. So I am going to put a second Oscorp on top of this one and try to make it look good. And we'll see if just making it taller and then comparing it to mine helps at all. So let's do that really quick. All right, so I did this very quickly, not really altering the original build all too much. I think I only added in like a few plates that didn't come from the original set. But this is what it would look like if you keep the design of the original Oscorp and literally just stack a second on top of it and then connect a few plates. And you know what? It's not bad. I think if I spent a little more time on it and altered the original build a bit more, it could be pretty cool. I do like having the 2 signs, but like maybe you could like off center them, like have one down here and one up here. And like there's probably a lot more you could do to make these angles better when they're, you know, this much taller. I don't hate it, is my point. It's definitely a bigger Oscorp, but yeah, just not up to snuff. You know, it's not as cool as like the Daily Bugle if you expand it, for sure. I mean, it is still a small set. So, but yeah, I mean, I guess when you put it next to mine like that, where it's like literally doubled up, well, to be honest, it's still like not even half as tall. But yeah, that is what it looks like, I guess, if you want to expand Oscorp. If you have a smaller city than this, I'd say this is worth doing. I'd say buying a second set and trying to expand it and make it taller is worth doing, because I don't mind that. I think it's all right. But in the scale of my city, where I have like just 6-foot buildings around, yeah, it just doesn't work so well. So those are just my thoughts. Again, I just want to do this quick video, get your thoughts on this new set. Overall, I do think they will make a modular Oscorp down the line if people buy enough of this one. So I just keep that in mind, is like, don't be so mad at Lego that they gave us like this small of an Oscorp, because they also did that with Daily Bugle. They also did that with Avengers Tower. They've done it with like all these Marvel sets. They've given us like smaller ones before we get the good ones. So yeah, I don't mind it so much. I think it's all right. I think if you have a like smaller scale Lego city, doubling up this Oscorp could be very cool, and I'd say go for it. And I think it's a decent set. But for what I'm doing here, I am kind of leaning towards mine. But what are your thoughts on this? I am very curious. Is it worth using parts from this set and incorporating it into mine? Do you like the signs from this set? Should I like get rid of mine and try to replace those, or like retheme mine a different color? Should I just scrap mine altogether, like get rid of lettering and just go all in on expanding this and turning this into a full building? I really am curious about your thoughts, because I do a lot of custom Marvel buildings, and yeah, I was very excited for the new Oscorp and then kind of let down and then excited again. So it's been an emotional roller coaster with this set here. I do like it. I think it's a decent set, but yeah, I'm not sure if it fits in with my city. So I really would love your thoughts on this and your feedback. So hopefully this was interesting to you. And if you're a fan of this Oscorp set and just wanted to see it doubled up, then, you know, hopefully that was exciting for you. I know it was kind of exciting for me because I personally think this looks pretty decent and I didn't even really alter the original build much. But yeah, thank you so much for watching this video. Drop your feedback and your thoughts on this below. I really want to know what you guys think I should do. I personally really love my Oscorp mock. I think it's held up decent over all these years. And I would like to add to the interior a bit more. And I do know that Friendly Neighborhood Crafts, who I've like used their stickers before, I know they're coming out with their own kind of like custom Oscorp that has their sticker sheets all throughout. Maybe I should just get some of those sticker sheets, take stuff from this set and just really go all in on like making a cool interior for mine. Maybe adding like some screens on the front, like billboards or something. I'm not sure. So I would really love your feedback because I actually really like my Oscorp and I wanna make it better. You know, I wanna make it fit in with the rest of my city and be as detailed as everything else. And I do love it, and I would like to give it a little bit more love because yeah, I just never finished the interior for it. But anyways, thank you so much for watching this video. Please drop your thoughts below and stay tuned because I have some really exciting stuff coming up. And I appreciate you for watching this video. And again, stay tuned for more.